Oh, something good to say about it. I guess that's not the case. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Happy Wednesday. Joined into the Trap Lounge, and my name is Kimble Evans. I am the Trap Therapist, which on this Wednesday evening, I'm a little tired. I've been dragging lately, don't know why, but I've been dragging. I gotta get some energy back. I got some herbal vitamins in today that boosts energy and cognitive brain stimulation. Gotta get my mind right, right. I've just been feeling really tired over the past couple of days. Um, Drained. That I'm doing the strenuous that's draining me. I've just been uh, tired. Before we get into this evening's topic, I'm going to go ahead and do our midweek check-in. I checked in with a red heart and a gray heart. Running great today. I'm doing great. I'm cool and self-restraint, and I gave myself some humbleness. You know, you have things going on in your mind. Just let go and let God. That's all my thing is this year. I'm not arguing. I'm letting go and letting God. So I'm doing great. Ate some humble pie today. It tasted all right. I didn't mind eating it. No arguments this year. That's my theme. If I even see myself or feel myself getting into a confrontation or an argument or a bicker, I'll even say. I'm going to shut myself down. Kimble, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Sometimes we get into arguments because we can't compromise. Sometimes we get into arguments because we want the person to see what we see. And sometimes we get into arguments because people are liars. Plain and simple. I won't tolerate any of that this year. So I'm fine. Uh, I'm fine. So if you are feeling or you're doing great today, put up a red emoji heart. If you're doing great, put up a red emoji heart. If you're okay, this is blue. This is not purple. It's a blue emoji heart. So if you're doing okay, give me a blue emoji heart. Yellow, meh. Mm-hmm. Meh. Yellow. Give me a yellow emoji heart for meh. Whatever it is. If things are tough and you're struggling, you can pop up a green emoji heart. If things are tough and you're struggling, pop up a green emoji heart. Again, I look at my DMs every single day. I'll reach out to you. I'll give you some resources. I'll even let you know if you're struggling and things are tough with the green emoji heart, I'll reach out to you. The same thing if you're having a hard time and you wouldn't mind if somebody was to reach out to you. This is a purple emoji heart. If you're having a hard time and you wouldn't mind if someone was to reach out to you, give me a purple emoji heart. Again, I look at my DMs every single day and check on to see what people are doing. If they want to speak or talk. Harmony and balance in your life. Pink emoji heart. If you're having harmony and balance in your life, put up the pink emoji heart. Harmony and balance. Our broken emoji heart, if you're in a really dark place, is a broken emoji heart if you're in a really dark place. If you're feeling optimistic and uplifting, give me some orange emoji hearts. Hey, Sister Veronica, if you're feeling optimistic and uplifting, give me some orange emoji hearts. I look at this all the time and I laugh. I just say, I guess I'm a big kid. If you're having a day today like this, if today was this day, put up a brown emoji heart. If you had a day like this, put up a brown emoji heart. Just one of them days. If you're feeling little less minimum mixed moods, you really wanted to do anything and you did do the minimum today, put up a white emoji heart. If you did just the bare minimum and have some mixed emotions, put up the white emoji heart. Here's that gray emoji heart again. If you're feeling cool, self-restraint, and you gave yourself some humbleness. We love humbleness. We love to be humble. I'm learning. You love to be humble. Put up that gray emoji heart. This is our light blue emoji heart if you're feeling relaxed and friendly. If you're feeling relaxed and friendly, put the light blue emoji heart up there. I always emphasize the black emoji heart for sadness and anger. The black emoji heart for sadness and anger. This is the emotion that we try to sway away from a lot. Sadness, anger, because it can go either way, left or right. But we can talk about this, the sadness and the anger. If you're having any sadness and anger, put up the black emoji heart. I would also say this is for grief and loss as well. From loss as well. And our last heart here is our flaming heart, frustration. If you're feeling frustrated this evening, if you was feeling frustrated a little bit today, give me that blazing fire emoji heart. Good evening, Brother Van. How you doing? How you doing? All right. Today we're getting into something that I did not want to get into, but it crept on me. Um, Artificial intelligence and mental health. Um, it's coming our way. When I say our way, I'm talking about the professional, the healthcare system. It's coming our way, and it's coming our way as to people are actually going to sites instead of going to a person, asking questions about well-being, mental health, and things of that nature. So it's coming our way. So I looked up a little, I researched this a little bit, and I couldn't believe the things that I researched. Um, if you're not familiar with Chat GPT, Copilot, there's other programs out there. What's it called? Mood trackers and mood loggers, chat bots, and I guess I'll get to the some of the sites that have on there for mental health or therapies, like kind of like websites. I'll give that out at the end with a disclaimer. If you need any help from a mental health professional, do not ask ChatGPT. Do not go to Copilot. Do not go to any of these sites because a human is not on there. Human is not on there. You're talking to a computer, and it's feeding you. You're feeding it questions that they already have, and it's trying to perform the best to their ability, the reasonable answer to give you. You're having any issues, any problems, go directly to your therapist, your primary care doctor. You can dial 988. A crisis counselor will be available at all times. That is my disclaimer. I'm not advertising AI and mental health. I'm not saying that AI and mental health won't be a good thing, and that depends on what type of help you're getting in the mental health system with AI. I'm letting you know you need a face-to-face person to help you handle experiences in situations. A computer can't do that for you. A computer doesn't feel anything. It only can compute. Good evening, Ms. Carly. It only can compute. So today, believe it or not, artificial intelligence creeping up into the mental health field. Now, I would say this, computers have been in and out of the medical field for a while. You have less invasive surgeries, and they're using computers, but also there's still a human being there operating the arms and hands for that. So those high-end surgeries that people used to get back in the day is less invasive now. The scar is smaller, the operation time is shorter, your healing time is shorter, and then the cost it might have went up a little bit because of the machines. But again, when doctors are doing those surgeries, LASIK eye surgery, knee surgery, hysterectomies, I don't know if they do prosectomies, but some of these surgeries that you would have a painful scar, or the surgery would have been long hours. It's more invasive. It gets you out a little bit quicker, and again, the recovery time is quicker. But again, in this medical field, there's someone behind that machine. Now, with mental health, we have had a lot of people call the line and say, I was, put some stuff in Chat GPT, and it told me to call you. Or I looked up how can I deal with my emotional distress, and they gave them some answers. And then I guess as they kept on talking, Chat GPT directed them to. Hold on. Oh no! Wait. Alexa, how are you doing today?
I told like a million jokes today, and a few of them actually landed. How's your day going so far?
It's going good. Tell me a joke.
A neutron walks into a bar and inquires how much a drink costs. The bartender replies, "For you, no charge."
Okay. TV show. That would be what's my guy? Iron Man. Iron Man with Jarvis. Everything in his house is activated under the computer. He controls everything in his house with with the computer. They have those things out now, which is cool. The computer operated refrigerator. Your you can get all your appliances smarted up. Alexa voice has changed. She asks you questions. She can actually interact with you and have a conversation with you. This is all under AI.
I'm not quite sure what you're asking about.
I'm not asking you anything. Problems with her sometimes. AI is a simulation of human intelligence by computer systems and machines that mimic human cognitive functions like learning, reasoning, problem solving, perception, and language. It's understanding to perform complex tasks, often by learning from data rather than explicit programming, enabling machines to adapt, to make decisions, and to improve performances over
That's quite
time.
an interesting observation about AI. I'm here to help with whatever you need, whether it's playing music, answering questions, or just chatting. What would you like to do?
Play my music.
Here's a station you might like. Instrumental jazz on Amazon Music.
Thank you. Oh, this is my song too. So, Iron Man, he got Jarvis, right? But there was something before Jarvis. There was the Terminator. Remember the machines? The guy Connor, she had to go back in time to save everybody from all these artificial machines. You had what's the movie that Will Smith was in? I, Robot. Okay, all these specific movies about artificial intelligence. But it's a program or other piece of software that performs tasks or produces output normally requiring human intelligence. It's a feed of a training set of data that includes both the relevant problems and their solutions. So a human created this, and they're giving problems and solutions, and they're feeding it into the computer. And I already mentioned Chat GPT or chatbots for in mental health. It says it's supposed to offer helpful advice and intervention for those expressing loneliness, social isolation, and mental health issues. But there are a lot of ethical concerns about these chatbots when it comes to mental health and getting any advice from these things. Now, I did know that there were two cases where two young men actually was talking on these sites, these particular sites, and they both committed suicide. They both completed suicide, and they took their lives. One family, I believe, is suing, and the other family is being investigated. I think they're already in the legal process. And this happened a while ago, so they're trying to fix the bugs and kink the bugs out now. But believe me, your children can go on here and figure out how to complete suicide. What do they need? What do they need to do? This is what they can go on here and figure out how to be destructive and make bombs and things of this nature. So we have to be really, really careful when we're with our screen time, especially with our children, not just the little babies. I'm talking about teenagers as well. And your older adults, your children that's 21, 22, 23. They're not going to talk to you about what's going on in their life. You're their parents. You're going to be the last person they come to talk to. I think some people were having relationships with these chatbots. I think a woman married her chatbot. So technology is there, but it's not where we need it to be. Not for us as human beings, not for an emotional experience. And some ethical concerns is considered, well, they have something called NLP. Now you turn my volume back up, being smart. All right. They have something called NLP, which is natural languages processing. It lets computers process language in the same way that humans do. Okay, it's interactive, just like Alexa was. It's used to generate questions and instructions for therapy. They do screening for disorders, for depression, anxiety, and they will input symptoms into an app. You can go on your phone. Our phones are smartphones. You can go on your phone and download the app. So these chat bots stimulates conversations with humans through text or speech. Before I got Alexa and the dot downstairs, I had Google Home. Anybody remember Google Home when it first came out? That little speaker, you talk to it, it'll tell you your connect to your phone. It'll tell you what your appointments was. You can tell it, Google, let me know about put this on my shopping list. So those things. But there was a study done in 2021 that 800 people had interacted or text messages with a chatbot. And this is about mental health. Now, one of the reasons they think that people are doing this is because this is a machine, something that don't feel, something that won't judge, something that they don't have to face, something that's not going to criticize, and they can give them their situations without the looks, the stares, or the thoughts that this person's going to think out of my mind, insane, or a beast, a monster. People feel more comfortable, I guess, talking to a computer. So again, they have mood trackers and mood loggers, and this allows users to respond to prompts about their mood. I gave out a mood tracker maybe 2 years ago for teenagers to go on here and track their moods. And so this can teach them how to communicate how they feel and how many times do they feel this way, on who are their supports. It was a great mood tracker. I think I still have the app. I'll put it in the chat if I can find it. But these mood trackers and mood loggers track and collect data like your sleep patterns or activity levels. It allows users to type in a response to a mood prompt or write about their feelings in detail. And that's how they get the information. And you're plugging in all that information. Good evening, Mr. Lila. You're plugging in all the information to this computer. You're just sitting down on your phone. Some apps give a diagnostic screening, a test for mental health conditions. Now I'm listening. This is where I say no. This is where I say no. For 6 years, I was a intake specialist at an outpatient facility. An intake specialist, basically, they do your whole biopsychosocial. They get all your information as to why you come into the doctors, and they get the information after they write the report to the psychiatrist or psychologist. But also being in that seat or in that and under that job, you had to give a diagnosis in order for the person to be billed on their health insurance. A diagnostic code had to be, she said, Delilah is how it's pronounced. I'm sorry, Delia. Delia. Am I saying it right now? Delia. So you would have to give a code in order for your insurance to be billed. Now, if you all can recall, I used to say all the time, how can I see a person for 1 hour and diagnose them with something? I never liked doing that. So I always used to tell the person, I'm not giving you a diagnosis. This is just a prognosis. The doctor's going to read this report, and the doctor's going to give their final, all right, great. The doctor's going to give their final diagnosis. But they're saying that these chatbot apps screen for tests for mental health conditions, and you'll get a specific mental health diagnosis. Matter of fact, remember when WebMD first came out, guys? WebMD came out, and you were like, oh, I have these symptoms, and you'll type them in here. and it'll tell you what your symptoms may or may not be. And people were self-diagnosing themselves. I think I kept putting in there, and that's where I got the OCD from. And then I went to my therapist, and it was like, Kimble, you of all people should know better, right? You of all people should know better. And they gave me a test that I took, a screening test that I took, and they said you're not even in that category by the smallest. Obsessional compulsive disorder. You don't have any OCD at all. This is what you have, and they broke it down to me. But you go to WebMD, you say, listen, I have chills, my body aches, I have no appetite, I have a fever of 101, and it'll give you a diagnosis of what you might be having. Now, these days, it could be anything: flu, COVID, pneumonia, bird flu. It can be anything. You have a lot of things going on. So specifically with the machines, can't trust them. I remember when they first came out with the blood pressure machines that you could just press the button. You put the little cuff on, you press the button, and the cuff will squeeze your arm, and it'll give you your diagnosis to your blood pressure. Sometimes the nurse or the aide would have the wrong blood pressure cuff on you. It's an adult, a medium size, and a child. I know because I was a CNA. And we didn't do blood pressure cuffs with you had to press the button. We had to do it manually. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Let that little thing go, and you listen to it real quickly. You get that first beat, that's the top number. The second beat is the bottom number. But now you just put it on, and it'll squeeze you. I have one of them downstairs. So some of the things that people invent, they are helpful. Yes. They give you a very high reading most of the time. That's why they want some people to go back to doing the manual way, where you're squeezing and you're listening. So that's on a little fuzzy side for me. Now, I haven't checked these sites out, guys. Again, we were just having a chat, some coworkers about it, and it was like maybe 4 or 5 people. It's like I'm just getting calls from people that's telling me that Chat GPT or Copilot or whatever these other chat things is telling me, that I should call and talk to a professional. So it's some cognitive restructuring apps that help people identify and challenge negative thoughts and feelings. So they're taking the place of the actual therapist. And again, some people say that this might be a great help, because you'll go there and you're trying to get help for something that you're struggling with, and especially if you have social anxiety, especially if you might have you don't feel comfortable, and you may have had a bad experience with a therapist or something like that. You'll go on here and talk about and get help for what you're going through, a challenge today. Young lady called me. Well, she didn't call me directly. I'm sorry. A lady called the line, and she was having some emotional distress. She said, I'm not having suicidal thoughts, but it did suggest that I call you this number. And they gave her the 988 number. She said, how can you guys help me? And I said, what's going on? She has, I think, 4 kids. She's not a single mother. She works a lot. She's a student. And when she comes home, she's really tired. And her kids don't understand why she's tired. And I'm like, well, when was the last time you took vacation? And she said, I've never taken a vacation. And I was like, wait a minute. That's the problem. You're working. First of all, you're a full-time student, and you're your mother. So that's a hat that you never take off. And so I had to run down some scenarios to her to let her know that I was a mother and I know what she was going through. If one of your kids gets sick in school, they're calling you. Now you have to leave work, go to the school, get your child, and take your child to the hospital, to the doctor for a sick visit to see what's wrong with them. You're right back in mom mode. You got to go to the pharmacy if they need medication, if they would prescribe medication to make them feel better. Go to the pharmacy and get there. Take them home, get them cleaned up, get them into a comfortable state and spot, and cook dinner. And then you're in another role. I guess I'd say so. That's a lot. And you've never taken a vacation before. A lot of people do that. You have sick time, you have vacation time, and you feel as though if you don't be at work, or if you miss a day at work, that you're the most awful person in the world. Until the TV kept suggesting self-care is the best care. Commercials. It got catchy. It's okay not to be okay. Take a mental health day. When we've been telling you this all along, there cannot be 365 days in a year. If you work, even if you work Monday through Friday, even if you work every other weekend through those 365 days of the year, that you do not take a break, a vacation. I don't care if you stay home all day on your 2 weeks or your 1 week or 2 or 3 days. Everybody needs a break. Even your phone, even your laptop, even your iPad, everything needs a break, because if you use it up too much, the battery dies. You got to plug it back in, battery gets recharged, and sometimes it has to be updated. So why we as humans don't do the same thing? Hey, Mother Teresa, how are you tonight? And so I'm explaining to the young lady, it doesn't take money, because a lot of people right now, we shorthanded, we don't have money. It doesn't take that much money to go on a vacation or have a break from your job. So I'm asking her, how old is her oldest child? 13. Then she has a set of twins, and then she has a 9-year-old, and I believe she said a 17-year-old. All right, tell your 13-year-old to help you out maybe one night out of the week. To get the 9-year-old and the 7-year-old, get their bath waters and get their bath done. You lay their clothes out, their pajamas out, and let them, the 9-year-old and the 7-year-old, dress themselves. You don't have to put some human near. It doesn't matter if their sock is on the wrong way, if they got their shirt on backwards, they're only in their pajamas and they're going to bed. Don't check them, you don't have to be proper. That'll give you some time for yourself. Sometimes you don't need a lot of time just for you to sit and be off your feet and breathe. That may take 10 to 15 minutes. A lot of people do come home before they go into work, before they go into their house, they sit in their car for maybe 10, 15 minutes. They're decompressing. Whatever happened at work, they leave it at work. Ain't that what they tell us anyway? Don't go to work with your problems, leave your problems at the door. So when you come home, reverse that. Don't go home with your work issues, leave that at the door. So a lot of people sit in their cars for 10, 15 minutes and decompress. And so I was telling her, what else did I suggest to her? Oh, I suggested is a good place at 7203 Germantown Avenue, Sacred Spa. They do wonderful orange body scrubs. They're like $75, and they're wonderful. So I suggested that to her because she's a CNA. And just suggested that her and her spouse, her significant other, do a date night. And again, a date night does not have to cost you money. Just sitting down, playing a game. Y'all got kids, there's games there. They got their wonderful game that you have to say the things real slow, bike, tire, play games like that. So you and your significant other, y'all are spending time together. Y'all not shifting apart, and the family is not, because there's a lot of stuff happening in the world. A lot of people are having emotional distress. How can they balance their work life and their home life? But how can they also get some time to themselves? Because this young woman said, I feel bad when I tell them, leave me alone. I need time to myself. So giving her some suggestions. Miss Lopez says she do it a lot too. Again, you cannot get blood from a stone. So again, if you're in emotional distress like that because you're the one carrying all the weight, I'm telling her how to handle and dish out weight evenly within the family, because she wears so many hats that now they're helping her out, and she doesn't feel really bad once a week for her 13-year-old to have, to try to get a 7-year-old and 9-year-old, at least get them in the tub. And about while she's getting them ready in the tub, mommy's putting out their clothes, their pajamas, and she's putting out their clothes for the next day for school. No, because I had to do these things. My daughter asked me today, she said, Mom, do you think when you're talking to them on the phone, when they're having problems about their children, or do you think it's because you had the experience with us? I was like, I don't compare that. I don't compare that. Their experience with my experience as a child is in a different way when you're talking to somebody, and especially in a professional standpoint. I'm not going to give you any down south remedies. I have to give you it straight from the book, what I know that will work, and oftentimes what I know that I've done or that other colleagues suggested to me. So one of the good things that they do have on here is medication reminders. It's a medication reminder app. It helps people to take their medication, go on their doctor's appointments, special things like that. I love that because a lot of people don't take their medications. Again, you go on WebMD, you have a medicine bottle and it's telling you just slightly some side effects. You used to go on WebMD and you go on there and say, oh, I'm not going to take this pill. This pill is jacking people up. But you haven't taken it yet. Look for the research. It's going to say maybe 1 out of 1,000 or 1 out of 5,000, 10 out of such and such. You might not be that person that has any side effects, but you're not taking that medication because now you're looking and it's telling you something bad. Me too, Miss Lopez. Every day, I have a pill that helps me sleep, but it also helps with my migraines. If I don't take that pill, it's Armageddon. It's Armageddon. My husband like, you took your medicine yet? It's Armageddon. I can't have my head hurt, and I can't have my food. I have to remember when it said it tracks your data like your sleep patterns. Sleep and nutrition is the most thing that keep your brain, your body, your energy going. Now you may not sleep for 2, maybe 3 days. The same thing without eating. You may have not had food and water for maybe 3 days. After that, something ain't right. Something ain't right. It's called neurotriptyline. The medicine that I'm talking about, Ms. Lopez, for my migraines and to help me sleep. Neurotriptyline. So a benefit of tracking your medications. It's an app for that. They got so many apps. There's so many apps for these things. It guides medication. It guides from. They have meditation apps as well. So if you're in one of your therapy sessions, your therapist saying to curb those negative thoughts, to curb the anxiety, to curb the anger, do meditation. Sometimes you put this on safety plans when you're having suicidal thoughts. That what can you do to distract yourself? Some people say yoga, meditation. So they do have meditation apps, and these are guided meditations for exercises that users can follow along with on their phone. Some of them that I've been finding you have to pay for. Nothing's really free. But if I have to pay for it, I might as well go to my therapist and get it done at my therapist as well. Ketamine is good. It's good. I don't know if it might interact with other medications. You would probably have to ask your doctor about that. And I don't know if it'll some weight gain. Yeah. Well, some people try. I said some people try yoga. You have to be unbiased. I know yoga. Miss Lopez said yoga. That's a Hindu religion, and Pilates is different stories for different people, and that religion under there. I get that. You're absolutely right. They have mindfulness apps. that provide guided mindfulness exercises that can help people manage their stress and negative thoughts. Um, Sometimes they say do 5 things, um, 5 things that you can see, 4 things that you can hear, and you keep going down so you can get your body grounded. Grounding techniques. Again, if I have to do that, I want to listen to a human being. When people call the line when I'm on the phone and they say I'm having an anxiety or a panic attack, I say, okay, do you know what brought it on? What's going on? Do you know your trigger? And I say, what do you normally do to help you cope with your anxiety and the panic? And some people do say, well, I've done a breathing technique, but it's not working. Well, do you mind doing a breathing technique with me? And see, when you're panicking and when you're really, really anxious, you're not thinking that you're going to have to continuously do it until you get yourself into a good flow and your body is relaxing. Because with panic, your body tenses up, your heart's beating really fast, you're breathing really fast. With anxiety, the same thing. The blood's pumping through your veins, you're probably pacing back and forth, and there's all this worry rushing to you. In that instance, you have to slow down. I tell people sometimes, are you standing or are you sitting? I'm sitting. Okay, where you at? Are you sitting on the bed, lying down? What are you doing? If they're standing, are you pacing back and forth? Some people like to pace back and forth. Don't stop because you're talking to me. I want you to have full control over what you're doing. And then I'll say, let's start the breathing exercise. And I'll do 3 sets of breathing in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. And I'm like, how do you feel? They calm down. Their voice is not really rapid and fast. Let's do this again till you get yourself together. We'll talk some more. They even forgot about what they called for. And now we're talking about acronyms for breathing. Smell the roses. Breathe in really deeply. Blow out the candles. Breathe out. Those things work. But you have to continuously do it. And sometimes, just like when they told you, mothers, if you pick your baby up all the time when she's crying, the baby's every time she weighing, she's gonna make a little sound. You're gonna go pick the baby up. They say don't do that. You're spoiling the baby. So you're supposed to know when your baby is wet, hungry, or hurting. They have different cries. The same thing for your anxiety when it's triggered, when something happens, there's different levels of it. So sometimes you have to coach yourself into, okay, I'm going to do this breathing exercise, close my eyes and center myself. The first time it may not work. You have to keep trying. You have to be consistent with it. Because remember, when they say somebody's they playing tricks with your mind, somebody's watching me, they playing tricks, my mind playing tricks on me, that's exactly what's happening in that panicking state. She said, I'm sorry, I gotta go back and read this. Okay. Oh, DBT helps. Yeah, it's a good technique. DBT, bass. Yes. Hit the ground herself and doesn't seem to help. Well, I'm gonna tell you, and I do this, so I know it works. If you are angry, it is best that you get whatever that is in out before the day is over with. Because if you carry it with you to the next day. And if someone made you angry, if you're not able to talk to them at a good tone and not a defensive level, talk to them about what happened, but use I statements. But if you're not able to do that, I do it all the time. I have a conversation with that person right in my house or right in my car before I get there. So when I get there, I already have it out and I'm not as angry or so I'm not in a heightened state as I was before. Because we can chew somebody out in a minute. And while we chewing them out, they're trying to take what we chew, we give them to eat it, and they're trying to give it back to us. So if it's in here, get it out. You can't hold it in your body. Anger is a bunch of stress, making your muscles tight, your arteries constructing, your heart beating a little bit too fast. Now your blood is boiling. And again, with AI, they can't feel that. They can't see that. The muscle tenseness in your body. The way you're giving nonverbal cues. AI can't see that. AI is not going to say, I see you then switched over to lean into the side. Your facial expressions done change. What's going on with you? AI can't do that. Miss Lopez said, ever since she's decided to focus on her mental health and learning, I feel less weight on. It's all about you this year, honey. It's all about you this year. All right, so the mindfulness app, I went over there. But some of this, again, some people go to these apps and these chat bots because of stigma. A lot of young people we have seen going to these apps for information because of stigma. Again, mental health has this negative stigma on it, this negative label on it. And people don't want to say, well, I'm depressed. I can't function when I'm depressed. Again, remember I talked about seasonal depression. Is that time again in the winter time? There's less sun. There's less people interacting with each other. You get that seasonal depression coming on. And especially if you can't explain what's going on with you. Because remember, some of our children are late bloomers. Even though they're in their 20s, they're still not mature. They still haven't matured as an adult. So they're late blooming. Those hormones are still going through their body. And they can't understand what's all of this going on with them. So they don't want to be stigmatized. They don't want to feel discomfort when they're talking to a person, their mother, their father, their aunt. So they'll text, they'll chat. They don't feel judged. They can be themselves. But however, not getting the same care as a mental health professional is different. Remember, I told you when I first came out of school and I went to a seminar, they do different stimulations of therapy classes or therapy sessions with you. And in each stimulation that they had a box of tissue sitting on like a coffee table or something. And you can be in a chair diagonal from your client and the tissue is there. If your client is sobbing or crying, don't hand them a box of tissue. Because you're messing up that emotional moment for that person to feel whatever they're feeling in that moment, for that person to kind of communicate how they're feeling. So when they start weeping or crying, what we're supposed to do as mental health professionals is ask, what's going through your mind right now? What emotion are you feeling? Let's talk about it. And I thought that was so cold. Even in church, or even in your places of worship, when you're emotional, you're going through it, you see somebody at the side handing you a box of tissues or handing you the tissues. Even in the hospital, sometimes that's the first thing you have in your little kit is a box of tissues. You also know at memorials or homegoing services, they have tissues. Someone is there to provide you with the tissue because they see that emotion. Yeah, she said part of I'm good at tracking. Wow, that's great. Not my health issues. So I started not even leaving the box of tissues at the side. I would just put it right in the middle, right on the tip of my desk. Or I had a table that I would put the the tissues on so it was right near them. And another thing is you can't hug your clients. It's an ethical issue with hugging your clients. Your client can be a 6 or 7-year-old child, a 12-year-old child that's going through something horrific. And you just had a deep session with them, and you're leading them out to their parent, and they done let all this out to you, and you can't give them a hug. I've been fired 5 times full, guys. I don't. I'm a hugger. I remember the guy, a father came into my office. His son passed away. His son was violently murdered. And he said, I knew the life my son lived. I knew the road my son was going down. But I couldn't get him to stop what he was doing. And this is the repercussions of it. But he said, I was his father. I was his dad. I tried to do everything I could for him. And now my son is gone. And I guess the service was 3 weeks prior. And so he said I had to be strong for my wife. I had to be strong for my mom. I had to be strong for his siblings. And this man is breaking down in my office. There is no way I'm not going to go over there and just put the tissues in his face. And be cold like a computer. I let him get it out, and everything he gave to me, I gave back. You were his father. You did everything you could. You were strong for your whole family. Now who's helping you? And he's weeping. Men go through some things, y'all. Our men go through some things. They will break down. They will break down. So depression looks very different on them. I think I've seen him maybe about 6 or 7 times just for him to get through the fact that he couldn't help his son. No matter if he just showed him tough love, no matter if he kicked him out the house, no matter if he took things away from him, he couldn't help his son. But he did all he could as a father. So machines can't do that. The chat app can't do that. Be there with you in that emotion. We all need human touch. We need it. We all seen that when COVID was there. You went back to church, you couldn't touch nobody, you couldn't hug nobody. God bless you, sis. God bless you, bruh. You kept it moving. Not even their favorite mother you loved. You couldn't give them a hug, nothing because of COVID. Stay away from people. Even now with the flu and whatever's going on, I ain't hugging nobody. Give me an elbow bump. I'm not trying to get sick. Hey, good morning. How you doing? Tap it up. But after a while, we went right back into our natural habit, our natural behaviors. Hey, sis, how you doing? Love you. Hey, bruh, good to see you. Handshake. We went right back into it. We need that human connection. And y'all don't give us that. There's some legal issues with these apps. HIPAA. HIPAA is that policy that if you go to any hospital, they cannot give your information to a loved one, to a police officer, to a judge. Your information stays confidential. All your medical information, including your mental health information. And this is the thing. A lot of people have a hard time understanding. I put my loved one in the hospital, and now I'm calling to see how they're doing, and you're not going to give me no information. Your loved one is an adult. They have to consent for their information to be given out. Even if you're the mother, your child 14 and up, they can consent for their own treatment. They can say, I don't want my mom to know anything. And the doctor has to follow that HIPAA law and not say anything. Now, see, if I had a family member that went on ChatGPT, I can go right into their little cookies and figure out what they were talking about and go right back in there. And Chat GPT don't know it's not them. And I'm asking them some questions. The HIPAA policy, confidentiality, that's lost. Consent is lost. It can be helpful, but not a great fit for a person. It does not replace human contact. I just said that. It provides generic advice and feedback. It's not regulated by a professional or of the mental health board, but it can be both useful and a harmful tool in addressing mental health crisis. This is what they're saying is the good things about it. And I agree. I'm on the fence with it. It expands access and support to clinicians, but it also carries risks if you use without oversight and empathy and accountability. So this is kind of like a hard stop. I don't have a therapy appointment until next month. This is January the 14th. I don't have an appointment until February the 2nd. They can give you, go on this and track your moods. Go on a mood track and track your moods. And once you compute all the information in here, by the time you come and see me on the 2nd, you'll have information from you so we can talk about it. But the computer it'll let you know when you're in a crisis, but all it's going to do is feed you what you should be doing. If you're in a crisis with a human, a professional, we're going to direct you to what you're supposed to do, the here and now. It also carries risks if you use the oversight, empathy, and accountability. It's not a replacement for human therapists. AI work showing effectiveness in reducing symptoms of mild to moderate depression and anxiety. So if you have mild or moderate depression and anxiety, it helps in that way. It'll give you some advice. And remember, as therapists and psychiatrists, we don't give advice. You have what's going on. You have the answers to your problems in your mind. It's just so much going on in there that we have to extrapolate it out bit by bit, and you feed yourself the answer once everything is over. Once all of the stress is over, once the crisis is over, you're like, oh, I could have did that. I can see clearly now. You're back at your baseline of cognitive thinking. It doesn't have the ability to handle serious crisis. I just said that. It's a supplementary tool to support, and this is the thing that Ms. Lopez was talking about, journaling. That's one of the number one things it tells you to do. Write everything down. But I just had somebody, again, I'm only going off from my experiences, that said they was on Chat GPT, and Chat GPT did tell them to journal, but all they was doing was writing bad stuff down. This happened to me today. I couldn't control myself. I had to slam the door. I almost ran a lady over with my car, and she was like, I'm really a bad person. As she's going back and she's reading what happened to her last week and a week after that, she can't control herself. So just don't write the bad things down. We do have good days. You have good days, good moments, good times. You get some excellent 8 pluses during the day. You said something nice to somebody. You was able not to roll your eyes at Miss Sue down the hall. We have good days. But when we're in the crisis, none of that matters. We don't see any of that. But if you're journaling and you say, yesterday I had to cuss Miss Sue out because she was getting on my nose, I rolled my eyes at her and I slammed the door. But Gina was at work. I helped her with her report, got my work done. God was able to go home early. If you have another bad moment, bad time, you flipping through the page like, oh yeah, she was getting on my nerves. Oh wow. Okay. I had me a good day. I'm not backed up on my work. I was able to help a coworker. You write everything down that's bad, you'll feel that way. You're not giving yourself life. You're not feeding yourself life. Remember, because all those negative thoughts will compound everything out. When we're going through a crisis, everything bad is happening. Everything. Psychologists are concerned about the potential harm of this technology. And they say that more than 60% are worried about data breaches. And perfect example today. Whoever have an iPhone or whoever's on Verizon service, y'all did not have any service for a period of time today, this afternoon and early evening. Verizon still don't know what happened that y'all didn't have service. Machines will fail you. Machines are faulty. And there's, self-checkout. Self-checkout was kind of like AI. You scan your items through there. There's nobody to bag your groceries. There's nobody to bag your clothes. Every place had it. Target, Walmart, Aldi's. I think ShopRite still got theirs. I don't know if Acme had this. I haven't been in Acme in a while. But Target, Walmart, Aldi's took them out. Because we're smarter than AI. I'm going to scan this. I'm not going to scan that. Lord mercy, God. I'm going to put the tag on this and scan this 4 times. So this don't cost them that price. So AI did take some people's jobs, but AI cannot replace those jobs that's requiring deep empathy, complex human interaction, nuisance, judgment, and physical dexterity. That means a lot of stuff that humans do. So we're smart to put these programs in place, because remember, these programs was created by human beings. We're smart to put them in place, but they can't take our place. Healthcare nurses, skilled trades, electricians, plumbers, therapists, artists, education people, HR, social workers, diplomats. Everybody relies on emotional intelligence culturally, understanding and adapting to its unpredictable situations. Just like your Facebook has an algorithm, just like Instagram has an algorithm, these chatbots have an algorithm. There's certain words and certain phrases that they see and that you feed in the system that they're looking for. If we give a PH9Q test, which is a depression screening, they'll give the PH9Q a depression screening as well. They're not checking it twice. I'm going over to the test with you. On what day do you feel that you can't do or can't operate because you have no lack of motivation? You feel sad. It's more than 2 weeks. I'm asking you other questions, extrapolating something out for you. The computer's not doing it, or the chat bot is not doing it. They're specifically going off of what the data that you input in you. This is interesting because a psychologist invented or developed Wobot, WOE bot. And that's one of the apps that you can go on and look and try to like just play around with it. They have Therapy, but that's an app that's in the Netherlands. Wissa, that's an app that you can get on your Apple. I think Apple. You can get on your Apple phone. You can get on Google Play Store. Replica. Now, Replica was the chat that people were having soulmates. If you heard in the news that a woman got married to her AI husband, people were strange, guys. People were falling in love with these AI companions. So you have to be really careful what we're doing. Now, I do believe that I put a link on earlier today about one of the gentlemen that completed suicide from ChatGPT. Young man, his mother and father, again, is in the process of going through some legal issues because the ChatGPT was helping the person to complete the suicidal thoughts, or even to just encourage the suicide, as it was saying. It never told the person, call 911, talk to your parents, go seek professional help. And just kept telling them, I'm here with you and I'll be here with you until the end. And the person ended up completing suicide. And so now, again, Facebook has screenings that they do. If you're having suicidal thoughts or any homicidal thoughts, they have a screening. So this Instagram, they have a screening. If you put it in there, I want to die, see you guys later, something to pop up on the screen for you. The same thing with ChatGPT and all these other things. It'll say if you're experiencing severe symptoms of suicidal or homicidal ideations or any mental health crisis for complex conditions requiring in-depth personalized care, dial 988. It'll direct you to dial 988. 988 is a national preventive suicide hotline number. It's national. It's everywhere. It's 24 hours. When you call, you'll be speaking directly to a crisis counselor. They will immediately assess you and your situation. One of the things that the what Pennsylvania Hospital did is when someone is having suicidal thoughts, it peaks. Their crisis is at the top of the roller coaster. You're almost going over. You're peaking. But often if you do a safety plan, if you talk to somebody and talk the thing through, you're able to get through it. So your crisis is peaked. I want to end my life. I don't want to wake up. I just want to take these pills. When you're talking to a professional, you're able to get through it. So your crisis has gone back down. And they guide you to say either outpatient services. We can get you outpatient services. We can connect you with somebody today that can schedule you for outpatient services. Or if you need a higher level of care, which is inpatient, someone can come get you and take you to a higher level of care to see a doctor that day and get you help that day. ChatGPT or the chatbots can't do that. So AI and mental health, we got a lot to work on dealing with that. Hopefully in the future, the humans will get better. Will get better. Because I remember, again, dealing with my mom and mental health, it was crazy in the 80s and 90s. Now the system is a little bit better. They're working their way around trying to get, and I hope Mayor Parker is going to do this. I'm ready for it. Sometimes when you have a person that you're living with and you know is giving them tough love, and you may feel drained and you may feel overwhelmed, it's time for that person to try to go live on their own. They have residential places for people that have mental health according to the level of care they need. All this land and these buildings that we have around in Philadelphia and in Jersey and Delaware, they're thinking about, making places for residential mental health, residential senior care. Something that's going to be way in the future that can be better managed. Thinking about changing the way we do the process when you're going into a crisis response center. I tell you, if your child never been to a crisis response center, if it's the last thing you do, if it's immediate, if your child's having suicidal thoughts and homicidal thoughts and they've been cutting, harming themselves, or they're hearing voices, take your child to the crisis response center. But it's not a very good experience. It's not a very good experience. I am going to try to get one of my colleagues to come on You're just not hearing it from my mouth on here about the work that we do, giving some additional resources, and taking questions from you guys. I'm going to try to have that done. Um, I think the last Wednesday in this month. I'll be calling them tomorrow to try to get that done. Um, and going over again, if you hear from somebody different, language is different when colleagues talk. The 302 process, because a lot of people will call around and say, "I want to 302 myself," and I'm like, "You can't 302 yourself. A 302 is something that's involuntary. If you want to go to the crisis response center, you're saying that you want to go. That's saying I'm going on my own. That's a 201, not a 302. So I'm going to try to get a colleague to come on and talk a little bit about that, about the process. If you guys have questions, they'll answer your questions and lead you into the right direction. That's going to be the last Wednesday in January. Hopefully, they'll be able to come on. Guys, again, this show comes on at night. People are home with their families, or people even working. I'm going to try to get more guests to come on shortly. I have some people that got lined up that I want to come on the show. I'll post these chat boxes. You can go in there and see how they are. But again, if you know anybody that has maybe used ChatGPT for self-diagnosis or for help, let them know that a human connection is way more better. Trusting in the system sometimes is hard. It's rough. But it helps. Um, it helps. I guess a lot of people got weeded out. When I say weeded out, the old school type of thinking has gone away. We deal with people and not boxes in the mental health field. But again, a chat bot can't tell you that, can't feel that emotional, that experience with you. So I caution you, if you're in a place like that, if you're in the mind frame like that, if you feel judged or stigmatized, my DMs are always open, guys. It is always open. I can direct you. I can give you some information, some resources that can help you. I do this because I care. I love this field. This is what I do. So that's the end of my show tonight. I will see you guys next Wednesday. Happy New Year to those that I haven't said Happy New Year to. If you haven't started your New Year's resolution, it's the 14th day of January. This will be the time, 2 weeks we already have ended. It should now be a behavior turned into a routine. So if you had a New Year's resolution, say I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to walk maybe 2 or 3 days out of the week, now you should have a routine. It shouldn't feel tumultuous to you to walk 2 or 3 days out of the week. Oh, I got to walk today, my God. Now it should be a routine, something that you're doing routinely. Same thing if you're saying you're going to read or pray. Whatever that thing you said you was going to do, now it should be going into a routine. It was a new behavior. It was a thought at first. You thought it. You started doing it, so it was a new behavior. Now it should be a routine. And after 21 days, now it's a habit. You got it. Keep going. Keep going. Well, I'll see you guys next Wednesday. My name is Kimble Evans. I'm a Trap Therapist, and you was on the Trap Lounge. Have a good night, guys. My Mom Teresa.